Hello, and welcome back to Murder Mystery Night. I'm your host, BringItDon, and we're going to get down to the bottom of,
Yes, I'm still here.
who's behind all this nonsense real quick. And one of these. Alright.
See this through.
We'll start in the kitchen and we'll work our way towards the front. At least that's the plan. There's a back door here.
I did as you asked.
Back door was used recently. Okay.
Done and done.
Something is burning inside the stove. It was thrown in the fire not long ago. Oh, never mind, we've already read that. Alright, let's talk to Santa. The kitchen servant is busy, routing herbs within a mortar. She's wearing a dress, soiled with dark stains, and her hair is knotted in a bun with a few stray hairs poking free. The woman doesn't appear to notice you as she makes her way to the stove. You notice she's limping badly on her right leg. Before you can speak, she turns, sees you, and freezes. Who are you? Name's Santa. I cook for the Tedrums, nobles from Restov. She wipes her hands with her apron. What will it be? What can you tell me about your masters? Santa frowns. No quicker road to trouble. Talking about masters, that is. She glances at your clothes and sighs. How'd you like it if your servants were all a gossip about you? They pay regular, not stingy with their coin. They don't yell, much. So I counted myself fortunate. I do. Why are they here, you think? None of my business. Might be they have things to do, but I wouldn't know it. I mend, I cook, and I serve where needed. Alright. I'm looking for a criminal who may have fled this way. Have you seen anyone suspicious? What can be seen here, you say? Santa Nortz. Ask Doomra. She runs the house, she does. Has anyone come into the kitchen recently? Only Doomer came. She frowns. No doubt checking to see I'm not palming the silver. As if there's anything worth stealing here. So there's not. The hostess of the lodge doesn't mind you cooking at her kitchen? As if she came here often herself. She throws up her hands. Filth piled in corners. The floor sandal deep in dirt. Had to work my fingers to bones to clean the kitchen before I could start a proper meal in this. She curls her lip. This cow shed. I feel like that should be grayed out. But anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I need the key to your room. Room? She raises an eyebrow. I don't have a room, except here in the kitchen. Bed's a bench. Still warm enough, though. What are you cooking, Santa? She throws a glance at the stove. That there's for tomorrow. She hesitates. Tomorrow's midday meal, it is. Now peek into the stew pot. You take the lid off the pan. Some brew boils inside. It looks strange and smells odd. You lean over, smell the stew. Immediately flinch. The acrid stink of vinegar feels like a punch in the face. Besides, you can smell some strange spice, which would be appropriate in a dessert, but not in a first course for dinner. Alright, won't trouble you any longer. Let's talk to Doomra next. I feel like she would have the best advice. Alright, Doomra looks at you without a word. I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? Doomra gives you a sullen glance. Seems she's not too happy to talk with you, but she doesn't dare refuse it openly. Do you know who your guests are? Why should I? Doomra tilts her head, her eyes appraising you. I'm not their ward. They come, they pay for a bed, they keep quiet. Why would I care who they are? A crime has happened, Doomra. I need your help to find the culprit. So what did this culprit do wrong? Doomra's voice becomes thick, corners of her mouth curved down. Shot a deer in someone's lands? Now the criminal has to run away, as if she was an animal herself? Whatever it is, leave me out of it. The cultist of Lamashtu is hiding in your lodge. I have to find them. Doomra stares at you for a moment, then utters a hoarse chuckle. One of Lamashtu's own. That's quite a story you've spun, your grace. Next you'll tell me I'm holding Rovagug down in the cellar. And what's your proof that I hide cultists? Now there are footprints leading to your lodge. So what? Folk come to this lodge every day, both from the flatlands and the swamps. Your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. And? She lifts her chin. Is it a bad thing? To provide shelter for those who's lost? Several hours walk from your lodge is the shrine of Lamashtu. Barren enough. The dwarf clasps her hands. Here in the stolen lands, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting some goblin nest or cursed ruins or a shrine of something foul. Alright, I'm not going to argue with you. Do you let everyone into your house? Doomra's face turns red. What are you hinting at, huh? Your guest, Doomra. Do you allow anyone who asks to spend a night here? Doomra blinks several times, pondering your words. Of course, everyone. What else am I expected I do? What else am I expected I'd win? Pick who gets a warm spot near the fireplace and who gets left out in the rain? I've let in you and your thugs, though you've put terror in my other guests. Excuse me, who are you calling a thug? Doomra eyes Octavian, falls silent, and shrugs. You're a fair lass, sure. Who knows what thoughts you have in that pretty head of yours? Do you remember when they came to your lodge, at least? Doomra closes her eyes, trying to recall. wanted to check on my traps. Some people arrived when I was away, so I can't tell you for sure, Your Grace. How many people are... what else haven't I told you? How many people are there in the lodge now, except for you? Watch yourself. There are 3 of them, all sitting over there. Dimmer nods towards her guests. That one in the kitchen, guessing she's a servant of these 2 noble folk. They look to be carrying all the coin. I like to examine your room, Dimmer. Dimmer's hands tighten to fists, but she keeps them on her hips. She says nothing, merely stares at you defiantly. I'm not going to ask twice, darn it. Put that key on the table now, or you'll regret talking back to your Baron. Dimmer glares at you for several moments, then finally grunts and pulls forth an old, age-darkened key from her belt. Have it your way, Baron.
Together we stand.
Let's talk to the one that's by herself over here, Aleca. A young woman stands before you, wearing a plain dress and a hooded cloak. Her belly is swollen. She is pregnant, and her time is near. The woman manages a bow. I've heard other people calling you Baron, Your Grace. It's an honor to be in your presence. I'm Aleca. What are you doing here? I'm taking what rest I can after a long day on the road, Your Grace. I'm a widow. Aleca stops short. I barely had 2 seasons to mourn my husband, and he left me with child, and in difficult times like these. I've got a sister in Gralton, God's bless her. She's agreed to give me shelter in her house. So I went there. There was nowhere else to go. Where are you from? From Galt, Your Grace. I'm from a tiny village near the tract. Guess no one here ever heard about this place. Aleca straightens the folds of her dress and puts her hands over her belly. 1 second.
Together we are
I'm listening.
unstoppable. Depend on me.
There we go. Alright, back to talking.
Falter.
Alright, are you planning to stay in Gralton? Sorry, my voice cracked. Aleca hesitates. I don't know yet, she answers, but if things turn out well, why not? It was a long journey for you. Aleca shrugs. I have little coin, Your Grace, so I have to beg traders on the road to ride on the... in their carts. I spend nights anywhere I have to. This place is at least warm and dry. I'm looking for a cultist of a dark goddess. Can you help me? Aleca pales. Cultist? That's horrible. But how can I help you? Have you seen anything suspicious tonight? Aleca shakes her head slowly. No, I don't think so. Do you know anyone in this hall? First time I've seen these people was when I stepped over the threshold of this lodge. Do you know who came to the lodge last? Aleca frowns. I heard a noise from the kitchen. It was like something fell on the floor. And then this grumpy old lady, Doomer, came out. Alright, I need a key to your room. Oh, sorry. Aleca gives you several hasty nods. It seems the talk of cultists has frightened her. Aleca hesitates, and then takes a key out from her cloak and hands it to you without a word. Alright, let's talk to these guys. A bearded middle-aged man stands before you. He wears a massive gold chain on his neck. The woman beside him gives a polite smile and a nod as you approach. Greetings, Baron. The man's voice is so low as to rumble. Let me introduce myself. Cabron Tedrum from Restov. He nods to the woman beside him. This is my wife, Una Tedrum. We've come to your lands to hunt. Yet, I admit we did not expect to meet you in person. To what do we owe this honor? Tell me about yourself, please. I'm a legalist, Baron. Cabron hooks his thumb into his embroidered belt. My job is to ensure Restov's laws are upheld. My wife is a keeper of the hearth and my loyal companion in prolonged journeys. Una nods without a word, her gaze fixed on you. Bluff. Oh yes, of course, Cabron Tedrum. I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. Cabron Tedrum freezes as if someone put a knife to his throat. Is that so? He tries to smile, but his eyes are fearful. I doubt, Baron, that anything you heard concerned me. My family name is a common one. I have so many relatives, I know not a quarter of them. He clears his throat. A legalist, so are you a judge? Cabron smiles slightly. Not exactly. I work as a legal defendant in cases when a suspect's innocence must be proven. And I admit, I have moderate success in this field. Cabron seems about to elaborate, then stops. No need to bother you with tedious tales from the courts. Una Tedrum raises her head. We've decided a trip was in order. My husband worked long hours during the last several months, so he felt a journey would be good for us. Well, with a difficult job like yours, it's impossible to get by without some divine support. Whom do you address your prayers to? Why, to Abadar, of course. Divine patron of law and lawyers. Cabron looks at you intently. Surely you are aware of Abadar, are you not? You must be. No matter, no matter. You've recognized me at once. Do I know you? I doubt it, but news about developments within the Soul Lands, and your role in them, has traveled far. Donal is a well-known name beyond your borders. Cabron gives gives a polite half-bow. The woman in your kitchen, your cook? Cabron nods quickly. Yes, we just can't imagine our lives without Santa. Una coughs delicately. My constitution demands a unique diet. She studies you closely. A private matter, if you don't mind. Far from Brevoy, are you not? You see, Cabron clears his throat. I've heard the wildlife here are excellent sport, so I decided to see for myself. Sort truth from rumor, you understand. Fortunately, my fair wife was in favor of the trip, so here we are. Do you prefer snares or a bow? A bow. What kind of prey do you hunt? Cabron freezes. He swallows. Cougars. He swallows again as if fighting to take a breath. Magnificent predators. Worthy prey for a worthy hunter. He gives an awkward smile. Well, I hope you enjoy your hunting. Let's change the topic. An odd place to rest for the night. Why, Baron. Una gives a false smile. We adore this charming dwelling. She glances around the dim hall. Her smile remains, but you notice she raises an eyebrow at her surroundings, as if in judgment. A crime has taken place nearby. The one responsible may be hiding in this house. Have you seen anything suspicious? The Tedrums exchange glances. I'm afraid, Your Grace. Cabron looks downcast. We won't be able to help you. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Cabron looks around the hall. We're not accustomed to such company, Baron. Besides, from the Restov legalist point of view, every person in this room is suspicious. Do you know the hostess of this lodge? No, I don't. Cabron rubs his brow. And I must say, she doesn't look forward to meeting new people either. Do you recall who came to the lodge in the last hour or so? Cabron casts a look behind you. On second thought, this young woman. I didn't notice exactly when she entered the room. He turns to his wife. My dear, perhaps you recall. What was the name of our hostess used addressing her? Aleca, sweetheart. Una shrugs faintly. I cannot recall if I saw her at the start of the evening. Let's see, I need a key to your room. Despite Una's cool expression, you notice a bead of sweat running down her temple. As she spots your glance, her lips tighten. Cabron takes a key from his purse and hands it to you. As you wish, Baron. Come back to you later. Alright. So let's head upstairs. Bringing everybody in case there's perception checks in their rooms. Don't want to miss any clues. I'll start in here. The bags contain Tedrum's clothes and personal belongings. The sheets are crumpled, the blanket is thrown aside. It seems someone was sleeping in this bed not long ago.
I did as you asked.
There are no hunting bows, arrow snares, nor any other sign of the Tedrums having any hunting on their mind. Well, that's suspicious.
Our path leads on.
Receipts, shopping lists, and other papers pile over Doomer's table. The sheets in this bed look dirty. The old bed cover is sewed together from the number of patches. A pile of dirty clothes covers some snares. There are a few hunting bows and quivers with arrows.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we've seen all that before. The chest contains modest clothing, some packed leftover food, a purse with herbs, and other personal belongings. The table holds a pile of letters crossed with a ribbon. These are the letters from Aleca's deceased husband. It seems they corresponded often.
I did as you asked.
The mattress covers bloodstained cloth and bandages. Okay. But she's pregnant. Maybe she has something going on with that. That's our bed. Okay. Let's head back downstairs and confront the Tedrums and Aleca about what we found in their rooms, and then we'll talk to Keston.
Let us not hesitate.
Let's see, I've been to your room. I found no hunting weapons there. Cabron becomes white as a sheet. You see, well, he licks his lips, which are now trembling slightly. Una, who is watching her husband closely, touches his shoulder lightly. I beg your pardon, Baron. She leans in close to Cabron and whispers something in his ear. You barely hear Una's hiss. Get a hold of yourself, you fool. You'll ruin everything. These words seem to have the desired effect. Cabron suddenly straightens and smiles. Truth be told, it's a rather embarrassing matter. Cabron gives a hollow chuckle. I proved a much worse hunter than I thought. Just imagine. I managed to snap not one, not two, but 3 bowstrings in a day. Infuriated, I broke my bow across my knee. It shames me to even speak of it. Una smiles gently and looks aside. Okay. Well, he can't be trusted. You see this couple at the table? They're nobles from Restov. They claim you're the last one who'd come to the hall. Aleca gives you a perplexed look. Well, that's not true. It's not. Her voice trembles. Dumra, the hostess, she was the last one. Remember her coming through the kitchen. Aleca, why is there bloodstain on her garments in your room? Where is that from? Aleca takes a step back, her eyes wide with fear. I'll explain. The woman lowers her head and rests her hands against her belly. I'm expecting a baby, but because of the journey, or of all the worries, something must have gone wrong. It hurts. Aleca closes her eyes tightly, and I bleed. Aleca starts sobbing. I tried to find out what's wrong, to heal myself, to appease the gods. The priest of Pharasma told me he couldn't help. The goddess rejected my child, said it would be born dead. But I can't just accept it. I can't give up. This child, my husband's child, all I have left of him. Aleca hides her face behind her hands and starts to weep. You realize we get nothing more from her at the moment. Okay. Let's quick save. So, these guys know Sana. Or Tasana, whatever it is. I'm just gonna keep calling her Sana. So those three are in cahoots with each other. But they were quick to blame Aleca over here. Aleca's pregnant, but the child is gonna be stillborn, supposedly. But they all seem to be afraid of what I found out about them. I know Doomer is not guilty. I mean, I'm assuming Doomer is not guilty. But she tried to blame Doomra. So what I'm thinking Sana is the priestess of Lamashtu. And she's in cahoots with all three of these people. I don't know how she's in cahoots with Aleca, because Aleca didn't mention Sana at all. If I had to guess, I'm gonna go with Sana, mostly because, well, she seems the most suspicious. She's the one that came in through the back, if they came in through the back. Well, even if she came in through the front, she was in cahoots with these three people. They wouldn't have ratted her out. I don't know. I feel like no matter what I pick, it's gonna lead me to the correct choice anyway. Let's see. Who would you interrogate first? Cassis shoots a glance at the door for the counter. The hostess has been staring hate at us since we entered. Mind her. Yeah, there's someone who seemed especially suspicious to me. Sana, Tedrum's maid. Keston raises his brow. You think so? He thinks for a moment, then nods. As you wish, my baron. I'll bring her. I think, Sana, you know why I've brought you here. The kitchen servant casts a wary look at Keston, then you. I would? How? Do you jest, my lord? She gives a half smile as if uncertain. How could I know what you're thinking? Keston shakes his head. Enough. We know who you are, Lamashtu won't help you. Sana is silent for a moment, then straightens like a serpent, her eyes cold with contempt. Is that so? Her accent has vanished, the demeanor of a peasant shed like a cloak. Then you have little of our faith, indeed. The Great Mother is with me. Sana's voice is ice. Prepare yourself for her. Oh. Okay, well that was easy. Everybody get her. That was really easy. Stop. I surrender. The priestess Lamashtu holds her hands over her bleeding wounds, moaning in pain. She raises the hem of her skirt and starts to wipe away blood from her legs. Her right leg is covered with sores, oozing pus and yellow ichor. You and your minions unleashed a blight across my lands. Because of you, monsters overrun the barony, and honest people will fear to leave their homes. The priestess of Lamashtu shakes her head and tries to close her wounds, moaning. That's nonsense. I've heard the stories about what's happening in your barony, human, but I have nothing to do with this. The Great Mother rules the monsters of this world, but if you had truly earned her wrath, your lands would be drowning in blood. No, Baron, you must look elsewhere to place blame. Lamashtu and her followers have nothing to do with your troubles. Alright, well tell me who you are, quick now. I am the priestess of the cult of Lamashtu, the Great Mother, the ancestress of monsters. The priestess struggles to raise her chin, her voice a hiss. I'm not from these lands. I came because of the pleas of your people, who seek the mercy of my goddess. I came to these lands in secret and hid my identity from everyone except for those initiated in the mysteries of Great Mother. Even the hostess' lodge had no idea who I was, and those looking for divine benefaction found me on their own. And there are more than the followers of Aristal would believe. Tell me about the cult of Lamashtu. We're numerous and we are strong. The tribe of Lamashtu followers grow every day, breeds and spreads over the lands of Galarian, and search for places to create new packs. What kind of rituals were you performing at the shrine? We prayed to Lamashtu. We asked for new offsprings in the pack. We mated like wild animals, free of stupid prejudices. Priestess's lips curve in a grin. I'll spare you the details, human. Those like you are unable to accept the greatness of our ancient faith. Aren't you a merry bunch? Octavia giggles, waving her finger tauntingly at the priestess. But you know, Callistria's faith will have a lot of fun too. just without the risk of growing a pair of tentacles in the process. Don't you dare compare your frivolous goddess to ours, who's as old as the world itself. Your orgy is a little more than entertainment for bored townsfolk. Ours are full of primordial wisdom. Valerie winces. Could we please skip the theological debate over which cult has better orgies? I'm not impressed by attempts to wound my pride. The priestess says nothing, her eyes filled with contempt. Where are the rest of Lamashtu cultists hiding? The woman's face turns to stone. You cannot make me betray the children of Great Mother. Torture me if you like. Lamashtu will grant me the strength to endure any pain you inflict upon me. Are you sure about that? Half-orc bares his fangs in a grin. Sparks dance along his fingers. Have you allied with goblins and other creatures in the area? No, we have the same mistress, but our paths to faith are different. I have no illusions you can grasp the wisdom of my goddess. All these people in the lodge, are they here because of you? The priestess shakes her head. They were searching for the blessing of Lamashtu. Other gods have denied them, and they had to ask Mother of Monsters for her benefaction. The couple from Restov, did they come to meet you? Yes. Several years ago, the lawyer defended a necromancer in a court in his native city, and he won the trial. Since then, all Tedrum's attempts to conceive a child were doomed to fail. Phrasma didn't want to prolong the bloodline of a man who protected those who raised the dead. Una has more brains than her spineless mate, so she sought the support of Lamashtu. The child, of course, will bear the mark of goddess, but Tedrums don't have much choice. Phrasma's memory is long. What's the story of Merchant's Widow? I feel like they're missing a lot of these in these dialogue options. Aleca. She's a poor girl clinging to the unborn life in her womb. The seed of her husband was too weak. Aleca's child is doomed to perish before coming to this world. Is the lodge hostess involved in all this? The priestess of Lamashtu looks at Doomer in disgust. This thoughtless thing? No. She did not see, was not smart enough to see what was transpiring under her nose. I won't offend the name of Lamashtu by calling our hostess one of her tribe. Keston, I have an order for you. Keston turns to you. Your Grace? Valerie folds her hands across her chest and looks at you with interest. The priestess' guilt is obvious to me. The others, not so much. Alright, these people are innocent. Let them leave. As for the priestess, she's banished from these lands forever. See to it she's removed from the barony at once. Tristan looks at you gratefully. Who's not even in my party. I don't think the Stolen Lands have ever seen someone as kind and noble as you. Yeah, because that's just a guard. That's Keston. Yeah, Tristan's not even here. Harsh but fair, befitting a true ruler. Your Grace, wait. You can barely hear Aleca's words through her sobs. Let me ask you, no, let me beg you. Allow the priestess to perform one last ritual. Let her save my child. I have no other hope except for Santa. Fine, Aleca. The priestess will perform her ritual for you, then Keston will follow my orders. Servant of Lamashtu, are you ready to help this woman? You may think of me whatever you like, but I have a duty to my pack. I'll help Aleca, and the child will be born as a symbol of Lamashtu's grace. Keston throws a tired look over the lodge and rubs his chin. That's all. He looks around the lodge. We'll deal with these people as you've ordered. I suppose it'll be a relief to Doomra to get rid of such troubling guests. I thank you, Your Grace, for your help and your wisdom. A pity we didn't discover the true reason behind the blight, but at least we have one less mystery on our hands. Have a safe journey, my Baron. Okay, well that's nice and taken care of now. Let's rest here. Let's get out of here. Alright, I don't think we have another lead right now. So what I'll probably do is there's that baneful bog to the west that I haven't checked out yet. I'll probably head towards that. Not really sure what the best route would be to get there. Should also see how long I've been recording. I don't know how long it took to solve that, 24 minutes, not bad.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Stupid giant spiders. Only 81 random encounters so far. Alright, let's continue. Oh, kingdom thing. Alright, +3 to economy, thanks to the trade taxes. And unrest in the streets. Alright, so I need to head to that. Alright, what projects can I put what's his face on? Insufficient funds to do that one. 500 BP, insufficient funds as well. I don't have anyone for that. I'll take care of that when he's free again. Here we go. Rebuild your capital into a lively town. Not enough funds. So I'll put him on it in a week. Almost. I have to do 2 weeks. Son of a gun. So I'm have just not enough to... Wait, was that at 68? No, yeah. One week should do. Alright, well I kinda wanna go to the Baneful Bog anyway since I'm heading in that direction. I know I have stuff at the capital to take care of, but we'll head there after we clear out the Baneful Bog.
I need to catch my breath.
Because I would like to explore a new area. What's the screen shaking so much?
I'm not afraid.
Good job, Ekondio. That's so anticlimactic. Sunny Hillock. Well, let's go to the Baneful Bog first, then we'll worry about the...
search for the spot to rest.
Alright, let's rest. Hopefully I don't miss out on that event in the capital. It's probably what I need to progress the story anyway, so... Let's go here, check this place out. Go to the capital, deal with whatever's transpiring there. Quick save before I get wiped out by a Kraglin arm or something ridiculous standing here. Alright, this is a dead end. Lizard folk.
Here. I'm not afraid.
Oh, there's a lot more there than I thought there were. Alright, let's try his breath attack real quick. Try and get him to a good position. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Well, they're all going for what's your face, so this is fine. Oh, holy crap. What is tearing him apart? Okay, well... Let's buff up a little bit before we run it. I didn't realize there was a billion lizardmen up there. I was expecting 3, not
Notice awaits us.
Whatever the heck that was.
I yearn for
He has
entertainment.
enhanced shield spell. Let's do displacement. Displacement. Bless. Prayer. Strength it up, man.
We shall overcome.
Yeah, we should have this now. Oh, maybe not. And then Valerie. Okay, I'm gonna load one more time. We got this. We're doing very well, except for Valerie went down very quickly.
Grotus awaits us.
Alright, so this.
Our time has come.
The end draws near.
A reckoning is at hand.
Big shield for you.
Open to your orders.
Yes, I'm still here.
I will see this through. Where to now?
And displacement, wherever you're at.
Grotus awaits us.
Alright, let's go, everybody.
The order.
Was lost in thought.
Ready and willing.
Don't hesitate. Let us strike as one.
So, this can. Oh, it's a boss character. I didn't realize that. That'd do it. Is he evil? Any manner? I guess we'll see. Hang in there, Harem. Yeah, we should have it now. Or not. Oh, it's the queen. That's why.
Do not falter.
Time wasted.
There we go. I didn't realize they were named characters there. I should have paid more attention.
The end draws near.
Just gonna burn through all three of these real quick, get him healed up. Then we head back to the capital now anyway. Not too worried about it. Alright, they both have amulets and hide armor. Of what quality? Amulet natural armor is +1. Just hide armor +1. Alright, it's not that impressive.
Forwards.
Look ahead.
Moderate wounds. A bunch of bucklers and great clubs. Okay.
Without a doubt.
Nothing over there. Alright, let's get out of here and head back towards the capital. That took... Again, it wouldn't be a BringItDon special if we have to reload once or twice per episode. At least once per episode. Alright, to the capital. Another kingdom thing. Let's check it out. Make sure it's not something that's going to expire on us. Alright, he finished, so we can upgrade him when we get back to the... Oh, he also finished. A true masterpiece. I could put him on this, because... Well, let's see, how much BP do we have? It hasn't been a week yet. Alright, let's just keep heading back towards the capital. Maybe not. Maybe we can do this. So what project was I going to put him on? Hey, upgrading the barony. Let's put him on this real quick. We can upgrade the barony. Because he'll almost be done with that once we upgrade Reg when we get back to the capital. That'll give us time to build up the BP that we need for upgrading our barony to a town. I've never been this way, have I?
I need to catch my breath.
We're almost there.
My strength fades.
Let's go ahead and rest here just to save us some hassle of having to leave the bedchamber. Alright, let's enter. We're going to go straight to the throne room to deal with whatever we have to deal with there. Then Harem's also available to do something, because he finished his project. So I gotta find something to put him on before I upgrade Reg to, I think, rank 3? Might be rank 4. Pretty sure it's rank 3, though. Oh, everybody's here. The throne room is full of people. Your allies stand around the throne, waiting in silence as you approach. The atmosphere is tense. Today you'll be discussing the strange and deadly blight that's recently struck your barony. Knock knock. Oh yeah, we gotta talk to him. The gloomy silence is only penetrated by loud chewing. Knock knock has grabbed a whole fried chicken from the table and is busily devouring it, ignoring everyone else completely. Jode folds his hands on his chest. Well, now that we're all here, let's sum up what we know. We've each spent a lot of time and effort to learn what we can about the monster, where the monsters come from, and what's causing the strange disease. Hope this conversation can help shed some light on the situation. Keston shakes his head slowly. We need to hurry. If we don't find the source of this blight and eliminate it, we may end up with rebellion on our hands. Let's summarize what we found up to this point. Jode, Keston, and Tristian look at you closely. Jode, the surgery showed that it was the magic seeds causing the disease, correct? Right. Judging from the location in the patient's bodies, these seeds were ingested. It seems likely they're initially extremely small, almost invisible. People simply swallow them with their food. Once the seed is in the stomach, it begins to grow and cause the symptoms we've seen in our patients. As soon as the seed gains enough strength, it sprouts and turns into a magic portal, just like a bud turning into a flower. Aristil, forgive me. Jode stares into the distance for a moment. Something must have possessed me to say that. It really does look like blooming. Each seed tears the body of its victim, just as a flower tears its bud. Keston, we discovered that the Lamaster cultists weren't involved with the monster infestation. Keston nods. It doesn't mean they're innocent of their other crimes, but the monster invasion at least is not their work. Hearing the name Lamastu draws Knock Knock's attention. Mother is not to blame here. Told you, but who listens to me? Goblins obviously like having all these monsters around. To them, it's like a sign of Lamastu's benevolence. Keston grunts. I'd say they're just excited by anything new that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if they're linked to this story somehow, but I doubt the seeds were created by goblin shamans. Besides, a plan like this seems a little beyond the local goblin chief's intelligence. Knock raises his head. Know what I think? I think Goblin King is rotten lice scratcher. Shaman plays him like reed pipe, babbles about Lamastu, then plots behind his back. Can you tell me where these monsters come from, Tristian? The ones that appear because of this bloom? Tristian raises his eyes from the papers on the table. Undoubtedly from some world alien to our own. All the monsters appearing from the bloom are exceptionally large and strong. It would be rare to encounter such specimens in the Stolen Lands, or even on most of Galarian. But it's impossible to say what it is but it's impossible to say what it is that lies on the other side of the portals that's intent on killing your people. Alright, that's all I need to know about the results of the research. Keston and Jode exchange glances. Tristan continues to dig through his papers. Can we keep people calm? Persuade them to wait a bit longer. Keston frowns. Your Grace, it's hard to expect loyalty and obedience from people in times like this. They're looking for something, or someone, to blame. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but... Jode cuts Keston off with a gesture. People think you're cursed, Your Grace. It would be in your own best interest to quickly discover the cause of the disaster that keeps claiming the lives of your subjects. Okay, Keston, are you still with the militia? The guard hesitates, furrowing his brow. Your Grace, I understand these people very well. They're tired of just waiting and hoping, but for now, I can guide their eagerness for action in a positive direction. I'm glad to help them avoid hasty decisions that would cause more trouble. At the same time, I'm convinced that a crowd of terrified villagers who've armed themselves can't truly be our salvation. This barony has a chance only so long as it has authorities and laws. My top priority is helping you remain that authority and that law. Keston takes a deep breath after the unusually long speech. I just wanted to assure you that I'm on your side. Jode, how did you come about these rumors of a curse? Jode bows his head. Each day I see dozens of infected, Your Grace. Many people have lost their loved ones or fear they soon will. They all want to know what's going on. Who deserves the blame? Whose sins brought this blight upon them? Trust me, every day the number of people willing to pin the blame on you grows. They say you and your barony are cursed. Of course, I don't believe a word of it. This isn't a curse, but some disease, which has somehow manifested itself in your barony. Jode raises his eyes to meet yours. Trust me, I won't leave you until I find the source of this disease. Regardless of... I'm sorry. I'm having so much trouble reading today. Regardless of what these poor people say in their delirium. Alright, so the bloom's essential properties are strange seeds getting into people's bodies, which causes their disease and eventually creates magic portals. Now we just need to discover where the seeds are coming from. Tristan, who'd been examining the map on the table from the shadows, gives a small cough. If I may, I've noticed an interesting detail. Well, two details to be precise. First, the seeds afflict mostly the villagers. There have been no recorded cases of disease within the city limits, except for those who came here looking for the cure. Jode nods. That's right. Thus we can assume a common factor in how people are exposed to these seeds. Many villages get their food from the same territory. Tristan slowly shakes his head. I don't think food is the problem. Take a look. He points at the map. We have the most cases of the disease here, here, and over here. Monsters mostly attack here and here. The cleric's finger travels down the map, tapping points along a fluid line. You see, the situation is most dire, along the banks of the Gudrun River. Everyone examines the map closely. Heirs still have mercy. Jode exhales slowly. Exactly. Along the river. That must be where the seeds come from their drinking water. Keston, the militia most often finds monsters by the river, right? We used to think the monster was just coming to the river to drink. Keston rubs his forehead. But if what the cleric says is right... we have to go upstream and find the source of this blight. Knock Knock jumps at your words. Take me. The goblin bears his sharp, crooked teeth. I want to settle the score with the king. Keston straightens up and flexes his shoulders. If you allow me, Baron, I'd like to take the lead on this. I'll take the best members of the militia with me and sweep the woods along the river. We'll look under each and every rock, if needed. Keston muffles a cough. After everything they've been through, these people deserve a chance to discover the source of their misfortunes. No, Keston, we have to deal with this carefully and rationally. Go to your people and await my arrival. Keston casts his eyes down. You're right, of course, Your Grace. I ordered my men to get ready immediately. We'll wait your arrival, then make our move. Keston gives a short bow, turns around, and leaves. Tristan, how did you find the link between the disease and the river? The cleric glances pensively at the map. You see, Baron, these seeds are not the only sign of something abnormal at work. Remember the ruins where we first met? The glade near those ruins, full of huge flowers. Glades such as that tend to appear all over the stolen lands. Seems strange, does it not? Especially if we take into account that the magic seeds and the portals they create look like flowers themselves. Jode even called this disaster the bloom. I'd like to research this natural phenomenon and perhaps... Tristan stops talking out as loud. Hasty steps are heard from the main entrance. Keston runs into the room. Your Grace, we have trouble. The peasants are rioting. Ugh, that's the only solution these nitwits could come up with. Don't worry, Baron. As long as they're not setting fire to the streets, we still have a chance of coming to a peaceful resolution. If you allow me, I'll go and speak with them. Do my best to calm the crowd down. And if peace doesn't prevail, your guards will stand with you. Let's go. I can hear the shouting even from here. I wanted to upgrade Reg. I didn't want all this crap to happen. Stupid peasants. I have a high charisma. I can probably talk them down. Or intimidate them. The murmuring crowd takes up almost the entire square. The murmuring turns to shouts at your arrival, and a stone flies out of the crowd and strikes the cobbles at your feet. There he is, out at last. Darn his eyes. Okay, please hear me out before you lynch me. I know you're tired and disgruntled. I am too. Day after day, I and my companions seek a solution to your misfortunes. We've saved so many from this fatal disease. If the gods have mercy, we can save even more. So please, let us do what we can. Return to your homes, to your loved ones. They need you, just as I need your patience and good faith. The crowd before you sways and mumbles. People look at one another, talk in a hushed tone, shake their heads and frown. It seems rebels who were screaming and jeering a minute ago, It seems rebels who were screaming and jeering a minute ago lost all their confidence. Finally, one of the peasants opens his mouth. The Baron is right. You really believe this? It's pure nonsense. Don't you get it? We could run the Baron through, but it wouldn't change a thing. He's of more use alive than dead. So be it, Baron. We'll let you pass. But don't forget, we're trusting you with our lives. Find the source, save our children from this terrible sickness. Okay. I'll do my best. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. Alright, we'll have at least one antiquity for this guy. Turns out I had a few. Alright, I think I might have enough of the ring stuff for him. Alright, well let's check out this ring first, or the melted shard of rings, or whatever that I have. How many do I have now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably 10. I think that's been the trend, but it's worth trying, I suppose. We'll put Harem on another project, and then we'll Alright, I don't have them all yet. That's fine. Alright, let's deal with Harem, and then we'll upgrade Reg, because I don't see anything on a time limit other than the Cursed Hilltop. Success. Alright. Put him on that. And then we will do him. Alright, military rank 3. Okay, should have expected that. And failed that one, -3 community. He finally finished training. Trying to request an audience. Alright, we'll talk to him in a moment. Letter for the Baron. Cool. Start the event, Faith and Loyalty. Do I have anyone that's not assigned to anything? Yeah, Davik Nettle. We'll put, that costs 50. I wanted to... Alright, he's still busy for a bit. How much longer is left on that? Six days. It's almost a week, so yeah, what we'll do is... I like to do that. Anyway, let's put a harem on this. So it costs 50. I'll only be short 9 BP. 45 days. Jeez Louise. Alright, this will be fun. We'll deal with the stuff in here, then we'll probably call it an episode after I read the letter and talk to Reg. Alright, it is my pleasure to bring a most joyous piece of news to your attention. It seems we now have a rebel in our barony. That's right, one rebel. Or at least we have one informer, trying to get his annoying neighbor hung from the gallows. A certain Brevis from a settlement on Silverstep Lake informs us in a letter that a local huntsman is openly defying the authority of the Baron. He's encouraging the settlers to worship some silver dragon, whose representative the hunter naturally claims himself to be. Being your most loyal subject, this Brevis could not but inform you of this flagrant act of Baron bashing. Our own messengers, who have been to Silverstep, recently made inquiries after this hunter, but learned nothing. He rarely comes to the village, and the villagers don't know anything. As for me, this nonsense is not worth your attention, but it's up to you to decide, of course. Yeah, if it happens to be a potential threat or slander, cannot be taken lightly. I'll deal with this. Alright, listen, I'm tired of hearing about bandits and thieves. My job is managing the army, not chasing pickpockets. Hire a warden. Let him drill the guards and make sure your subjects don't make too much trouble. Red shakes his head fiercely. Fine, so why did I come here? Right, I was thinking. Your soldiers need to sleep somewhere. It's time we build a barracks. I brought a map. Can you show me where you want it? An unkind smile shows up on Reg's face. Of course, I built them right on the border. Your neighbors are restless and we need to show them we're serious. Some troops in their face is serious, alright. Yeah, I'll place the barracks at the border. Great! Reg rubs his hands together impatiently. It's fine with me. Alright. Did I unlock a new leader post? Let's check it out. And then we'll call it an episode. I know I keep stretching it out a little bit. I'm going to deal with the inventory management off camera. I'm going to go to the merchants and sell everything. So +1 economy, +1 military. We have 3 new projects. Ooh, I can do this again. Land defenders. +1 morale bonus to attack and damage rolls when fighting within claimed regions. Costs 100 BP. I don't have enough yet. I want to upgrade the town before I do anything else. A warden. The warden keeps peace in the barony, pursuing those who break the laws and protect those who abide it. Yeah, let's put Dio there. Works for me. So, can I do anything with him? So check that out real quick. That's right, because I had a few things that were... Yeah, I had a couple that were for an advisor that I didn't have yet. Yeah, Tartuk. Candlemere, not worried about that right now. Let's look at events then. Oh, they're all... okay. Well, cool. Got another advisor position. So there's 10 advisor positions. I have 6 available now. I'm assuming one's a spy master, because espionage is one of the, like, community stats. Well, anyway, we're going to call the episode here. In the next one, we will, do stuff. That's what we're going to leave it at. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next episode.